Today we are preparing for section 1.4, so we'll be talking about some negative reciprocals, solving for y, and identifying some inputs and outputs of some word problems. So let's jump right into it with negative reciprocal. This will be relevant for section 1.4 when we talk about perpendicular lines. So a reciprocal is when you flip a fraction. So the reciprocal of something like 2/3 is 3/2. And to put, say, the negative reciprocal is to put a negative in front of that. So the negative reciprocal of 2/3 is -3/2. Now, the reciprocal of -4. Well, we got to write it as a fraction first. And anytime you have a whole number, you want to write it as a fraction by sticking a 1 underneath it. We talked about this last time. Now I can, I'll go ahead and write an equals sign here because those are equals. Now I can go ahead and do the negative reciprocal. And a negative of a negative becomes a positive 1/4. Okay, lastly, to do the negative reciprocal here, we want to flip it and then put a negative sign out front. There's already one negative sign, so the two negatives will cancel each other. We get a positive 7/5. Okay. Now, solving for y. This is another thing we're going to have to do several times during section 1.4. We're going to have to rearrange equations to get them into y equals. So the goal of this is always to get them as y equals equations. So the first one's not too bad. We want to do subtract 3x from both sides, and we end up immediately getting y equals -3x plus 7. For part B, we want to subtract 2x from both sides, and we get -y equals 10 minus 2x. And I like to write the x's the first term, so I'm actually going to go ahead and do that again, like I did above, where it's -2x plus 10. Now there's still a negative in front of that y, so we need to divide both sides by -1, and we get y equals 2x minus 10, right? So I have to do the -2x divided by -1 and I get positive 2x, and then I do the positive 10 divided by -1 and get -10. So that second one is y equals 2x minus 10. Now for the third one, we're going to subtract 8x from both sides. Same place we've been starting, so we end up with 4y equals -8x plus 12. And then we're going to divide everything by 4. And we get y equals -2x, right? -8 divided by the 4. And then we do the 12 divided by the 4 plus 3. And there you have it. We have the y equals version of that formula. So you're going to want to get used to doing this and just carrying x's with the number. Don't combine like terms that aren't like terms, things like that. But it's just our standard algebra. We just need to get some practice with it. Now for our third example, I want you to practice figuring out, okay, what is my input and what is my output when given a word problem? There's several different word problems below, but that's as far as we're going to take this particular problem. So just to read it and interpret it, it's going to be a useful skill moving forward. So our problem here is a music streaming service charges $10 per sign-up fee plus $8 per month. The total cost C of M in dollars after n months is given by C of M equals 10 plus 8M. So the input M, you want to look for where it's written. Typically it's labeled somewhere in the problem, M months. That means that represents the months since sign up. Now my output C, we also want to look for where it's defined. And it's defined right here as the total cost in dollars. Since the sign up. Okay. So that's all you're going to be doing for these. We're not taking it too complicated. It's just getting your brain used to interpreting word problems. So go ahead and give the rest of this worksheet a go. Some reciprocals, some solving for whys, and some word problems where you're just looking at the inputs and outputs. And as always, send me an email if you have any questions.